Hey, what's up, guys? This is Damnation-n-Hellfire, and we're here for our second installment of No Quarter. This is where we get all kinds of different people. Be loud, apparently. That's what we do. All right. So we get all kinds of people to come on and get their viewpoints along with our regular ones. So let's see. Tonight we got Caleb, who sometimes joins us a presenter, but we haven't seen him much lately. We got Neil. Neil, I had to mute you there for a minute, so if you want to say hi, you need to unmute yourself. We got RB.
Happy New Year, everyone.
And, of course, we got Ross Crow. That guy's always here.
Hello.
We got Toxic.
G'day, everyone. How we doing?
And we got me. So, let's see. There's lots of stuff going on right now. We got, what, the Herculean TLC. We got the other PvP TLC. We got Bounty. We got really screwed up FM. Yeah, so we got lots of stuff going on right now. What do you guys want to talk about first?
The FM. Let's talk about the FM first. Get it out of the way.
All right. I kind of wanted to say that towards the end of the show, but sure, we can start off with the bad juju right away. Caleb, we'll start with you. What have you noticed any change in the FM at all?
Because I rely on my Zelos, which shoots down everything, to be honest.
Gotcha. And are you using a single Zelos tank or two of them?
There's single Zelos tank, and I got 4 that do it on auto as well.
Wow, I was going to say, you're actually the first person I've talked to that's only using a single Zelos tank that hasn't seen a difference.
Well, you're using 5 Zelos though, right?
No, 4 that goes on its own in the different fleet, and I got my Imperians and 1 Zelos.
Okay. Okay. I myself, I use the double Zelos, gridiron mono lift, and 2 monos. And I to start with, before in the past, I had the old 0 marker. We're talking no repair, no damage, no instant repair needed. And now I'm at a minute 13, and so. And I actually do have a double Zelos, but I'm a bad driver even. But so driving never really mattered. I had enough counters on it always before that I could pretty much clear everything with the double Zelos, totally loaded with the antis. Now I even have the double Zelos with the charged armor. So I'm watching actually things. I'm watching the little lights, the flashings on the charged ships when you get hit, and I'm actually getting hit now, and I never was before.
What about you, RB?
I'm doing double Zelos, 3 monos. I noticed when I started doing the FM that I was taking damage where I wasn't before, so I was like, something's got to be strange here. So I just changed the strategy a bit and then was doing it damage free again.
G-Daddy, how's your FM going? Have you noticed any changes? Are you there, G-Daddy? You're muted if you're talking. All right, well, we'll move on. Neil, how about you?
No changes whatsoever. I didn't notice the first one. Ross called it to my attention, and but I use a similar fleet that he does. But I'm probably a little more
of a better driver.
But I take my time, and but to hit the 115th, and first one I hit, I did like 4 minutes, and that was bad driving. After that, it was sail away, and I never had any damage after that.
Toxic.
Yeah, I don't see any difference. I use I've built 3 Zelos for a previous raid. They're ballistic Zelos, and I use those 3 with 2 monos, and I don't get scratched at all. So I have not noticed anything different.
So
from when you said.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
And we did that little test yesterday. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems interesting because like most of the people are saying they see little to no difference are Zelos users, but me as an icebreaker user, let me tell you, there is a huge freaking difference in icebreaker. I went and I did a 115 yesterday, and I pretty much lost my entire freaking fleet. I mean, by the time I had like 10 hours of damage on my fleet by the time I was done. So yeah, it was not a pleasant experience at all.
Sorry.
So there's definitely a change. Something with counters on icebreakers is not working properly. I've noticed that it seems like on the arc missiles, none of the arc missiles are getting shot down ever anymore. It seems like a lot more of the executioner missiles are getting through on my icebreakers now than what had been. It seems like a lot of the sprints are doing a much poorer job of shooting down rockets from the cold snaps and the regular red rockets than what they had been before. There's definitely a huge freaking problem.
I've heard there's a difference with one Zealous, but not with 2, Dan.
What's that, G Daddy?
I've heard that there's a difference with 1 Zealous, only using 1 Zealous, but with 2, mine's fine. I can still do 115s for free.
But like Kalen there was saying though that he uses only 1 and he hadn't seen any difference. So it seems very inconsistent across the board. Is something else I'm kind of noticing.
Well, I've heard it might be countermeasures, but you never know.
I would say it's not inconsistent across the board as far as though if you're an icebreaker user. I mean, I got to tell you, it's noticeable right off the bat because they're the ones screaming in town.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I've had a few
we're getting terrible feedback from somebody.
Oh yeah,
it's Hell Dragon. She just joined.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Well, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
So, how's your FM going?
Mine? I don't have any problems doing it.
What kind of fleet do you use?
I use 3 Zelos and 2 monos.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it seems it's definitely the icebreaker guys have been affected definitely by far the most in this whole situation.
It's crazy.
I think they're slowly pushing the icebreakers out of the FM cycle. If that's
never has been a good fleet though, it's horrible.
I will say one tip though for you. If you're going to be like semi-autoing, like what we call semi-autoing, we only drive around the mines, the rest of it we auto. But when you get to the turrets, when your ships actually start firing, then stop. Don't wait until it stops because it'll push you too far and then it juts even further to like a couple of millimeters or something, and that's what kills you. So I will say
my fleet got about 20 Brits on there.
Yeah, the problem isn't strategy. I mean, we've all been doing the FM long enough that we know how to hit the targets. The problem currently is the change has happened, and in my opinion, it's to the icebreakers. Something is bugged in the icebreakers. I don't think by any means. I don't think it was an intentional thing, because I can't see him intentionally making me go from taking 1/8 of the damage on my fleet to losing pretty much my entire fleet on one target. I cannot see them intentionally doing that, no matter how big of the dicks you think they are.
Yeah, I've heard from a few people that icebreakers are dying now and not being able to do FM.
Right, and I don't believe that that's the intention either. I would agree that I think that to take the, I don't think that they want the icebreaker out of there. I mean, having some damage on it might be the intention, but even if they even wanted to gradually increase the damage, then you make it a gradual. And I don't think this is a gradual change. I do believe that this is some type of malfunction. In all honesty, I know I've seen all kinds of people saying what's been changed and all that too, but I agree. Maybe some things have been changed, But I think that there's more at hand than that. I think that there is malfunctioning.
Yeah, yeah. I will say too this, and we were talking a little bit about this in the pre-show. I find it fascinating how nobody ever wants to leave any customer support ticket they've ever seen in their life. But suddenly now that we have one customer support ticket that agrees with what everybody thinks is going on, oh my God, customer support is infallible and everything they say is the most truthful thing on the face of the planet. I just find that extremely funny.
So stepping back one step, if I can, how many with icebreakers have refit to the Sprint? Is it the Sprint that's the issue?
All my icebreakers currently have one Sprint apiece on them, and it may well be the Sprints that are the issue. But I've also noticed, well, no, because that wouldn't matter. So it may very well be the Sprints that are the issue.
It's probably the lack of amount of sprints on them, whereas the people that's running the Zelos and a monos fleet are probably running 10 or 11 sprints, and I don't know how many sprints you're running on your icebreakers, but probably not that many, are you?
Well, no, but see, here's the thing, though. My build hasn't changed. Like right before the last raid, I was running the exact same build that I'm currently running. And I would go through a 115, and my fleet would take maybe an eighth of damage doing a 115, if that. Okay, then the raid hit. And then the week after the raid, I started taking twice as much damage per target. And now that we progressed to this week, I've taken like infinitely times more damage per target. So there's something definitely changed, and it very well may be the Sprint's not working the way it should. I'm not 100% sure what it is. All I know is something is definitely not working as well as it used to, and that's all I can tell you 100% for sure at this time.
Makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
If you think back to yesterday, though, when we tested it with the Zelos and my icebreakers, my icebreaker didn't fire on any of the cold snaps either when I drove by, and it killed it. So.
Yeah, and you actually have tridents on yours.
I've got tridents on mine, yeah.
I've got 5 tridents on each of my 2 Zealous, as well as 3 monos with all D52R as a ranging weapon. That's what I've got.
So, I see Ruth there hanging out in chat telling me to build better boats. I guess she's too good to get on here with us. She's above us, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's more an icebreaker related thing because my Zelos got tridents on it and they work fine. So,
great toxic.
So, I don't know. Anybody else have anything they want to say about the FM, or we want to move on to something else?
I'm not having a problem. I have 2 Zelos. One has 2 sprints. One has 3. The other one has none. I can do a 115 with no damage.
So yeah, that kind of comes into correlation with what we're saying, that the problem is the icebreakers, not the Zelos.
Right. The Zelos got a built-in counter mechanism that it's actually working really well, and it has been. So it is the icebreaker.
Let's talk about bounty a little bit. How many people on here are actually participating in bounty? I know I am. I'll get me out of the way.
Yeah, I'm doing bounty.
I'm doing bounty.
Me too.
Bounty. Ross is scared.
I've only actually missed one bounty since it started. That was the first one when they give the Axiom turret away. I was a bit gutted that I didn't even join it just for that.
Well, I tell you what, let's just start going down the panel. G-Daddy, how is your bounty going? Like, what do you have points? What are you using? Tell us all that fun stuff.
Well, at the moment, I've got 6,800. I'm using the stay online until my base is hit, log off, wait for 12 hours, come back, or just before 12 hours, come back, collect 2 bounties syndrome.
Gotcha. So you're not actually out hitting any targets or anything?
Yeah, I've got no base hitting fleets down yet. I've just about got a base defendable, really. But even still, they still walk it with certain fleets, so I can't get it all. Just
G Daddy, what sector are you
in? 42 at the moment.
I was going to say, if you're up in the 300s, I would have put my OP to the outside because I got points I ain't going to even use.
I do like the idea of the 200 bonus, though. You can get a friend to come in and just flagship, gunboat you. For 200 points for 5 times 5 a day. I do like that idea. Although the Frubling's not looked on as nice in this game anymore.
Well, it ain't really Frublin, is it? You don't have to go over 25%. Just send a gunboat in, it dies, and you still get the 200.
Yeah, you can get 200 points per one, can't you? I've got one of them today defending. So I've got 4 more I can do if I need them. But I usually save them for, the odd times when you get 1,600 points and you need 400 points. Oh, mate, just do it as this.
Yeah.
400, will you? Okay, cheers. Thanks. And safe again. Back to 0.
That's a good move.
Caleb, how's your bounty going? I'm sure you have some ungodly amount of fucking points because that's how you roll.
Oh, the first day when the 100 spawned, like 2 hours in between each other, it was really good. I had 100 odd K, and I'm down to 67K now after putting my OP to the outside of my base for little alliance players my size.
Nice.
So I know you said you're autoing lots of the map targets. What kind of fleets setups are you using?
I'm using the ones from the campaign. What's it called? The Eviscerator or something?
Eviscerator, yeah.
That's the one. I got 3 of them out on the map, and my bus 8 on the map too.
The souped up
Just
Punisher.
ordering 86s and 89s when they're out, and the 100s and the 98.7s.
Nice. Neil, how are you rolling?
I'm doing pretty good. I got almost 63,000. Had a good first day. Mostly just hitting the 85 or 86s and 97s with subs and my bus fleet.
Nice. RB, you are or not doing bounty this time?
No, I'm not doing it this time.
Okay, well, I guess we'll skip over you then, and we'll ask you how many points you have.
Sorry for cursing everyone for wishing, or not wishing, but saying that they were going to turn down the spawns on the big ones.
That's okay.
That's my contribution.
I think most stuff is expected it anyway, but hey, I'm going to take it while they're there.
Oh wow, they were spawning 4 up a tower. It was amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's pretty full on.
Ross, what are you at? What fleets are you using?
I'm at 84,000, and I got the King's Ritz single ships out, just autoing.
Nice.
I'm autoing anything. 90. I don't like the 98s, so, and that's just. But I'm just using a single king, and I'm hitting the 86s and 97s. The 98s just don't seem worth the 100, for the damage I do pick up on there. But it's going pretty smooth like that. It's just not a lot. There's no base hitting for me. There's no one worth any bounty. So
yeah. After I get everybody's how they're doing and what fleets they're using, I'm going to go back down through and ask how many people have actually hit a base this entire bounty. So, Sheila, are you doing bounty? If so, how's it going?
Yes. Oh, I've got 20,000 secured. I'm using scatter gluts.
Nice. What targets are you mainly hitting? The 86s?
Yeah. Hundreds when I can find them. 86s. For no damage and a few bases.
Nice. Toxic. You still awake there, buddy?
Yeah, I've opted in this time, and I'm using Synquisitors. I'm using one Synquisitor to auto 86s. That's just to make up the difference between what kicks gives me and what I need to do a save, I guess. And it's been doing pretty good. I can do them on with map repair, so all good.
Nice. I myself, I think I'm around 76,000 right now.
That's not bad. You got more than me.
I've been hitting. Of course, I hit tons of 100s that first day when they were spawning like candy. And then, I've just been. I've used King's Writ and buses to hit them, and I also, believe it or not, you can actually use survivors to tank those for quite a few 100s. So anybody who doesn't have King's Writ, if you have survivors, throw some corrosive armor on them, and they can actually do a pretty good job of tanking those 100s. So, and then in my downtime when I'm not doing anything else and I just feel like something, I'll send like either a King or an Inquisitor into auto 86s. Because yeah, for anybody who has Inquisitors, you can actually you can do a build that you can actually go out and auto 86s with that build, and it's free on map repair after every single one. So yes, Inquisitors are good for that. All right, so let's start.
Mike, have you been hitting bases?
Hell no, I didn't hit no bases. G-Daddy, have you hit any bases?
I haven't been hitting bases, no.
There's a surprise.
No base targets either.
Caleb, how many bases?
Oh, I've been hitting bases. I've been hitting bases left, right, and center. But not even worth bounty, but I'll still hit them for the fun of it.
All right, Neil.
Because they're doing bounty.
I hit bases the first day, and I got so much build up that it's almost I had to hit a high end base, and I probably don't have a good enough fleet to hit a real high end base. So every time you look at your locator and people are worth 8,000, daggone good and well you're probably not going to get in that base.
Right.
Hey, Neil, let me stop you there, because I'm worth a bit of bounty, and I've not got the OP gun in. I actually took it out just before bounty, just to see if I get hit.
What's your coordinates again?
I was going to say, I don't know if I would have said that.
I'm on my way.
I'll say, you're on my friends list. I don't need.
I think I've got Caleb bookmarked anyhow.
Oh, I was just putting it out there, just in case I wanted to get hit.
So, Ross, how many bases have you hit, Ross?
I got one. Right when it started, and I got that list, and there was a name on there. I said, yeah. And, I hit that sucker, and it was I made the error, and I went to the bottom of the list real quick, and so I hit the one worth the most, and that set the chain off, and then there was never a target again. Except for there's one, give me your booty in my sector here. He's been giving me a run for my money on the points, and so he has passed me a couple of times, but he's my friend.
Go booty, go booty.
Sheila, you said you hit one base, right?
No, I've hit several bases, actually.
Several bases? Okay. And have you had much problems getting in any of them?
Well, if they've got the new op gun, and if they've got a hope, I can't get in because I'm using scattered gluts. But other than that, I can usually get in.
Gotcha. Are you finding the undersea web to be a big problem for you?
If they don't have the right turrets, no. But if they've got the right turrets, yeah, I get killed every time.
Okay.
I hit a base yesterday with gluttonies with that web in. The web was destroyed, and I went straight through it. It didn't pick me up.
Really?
Yep. I don't know if it was a glitch at the time or.
It's always nice to know that they put out totally 100% working product all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, that depends option that they've got though.
Toxic, I won't ask you. I know you haven't hit any bases, unless you count the couple times that you hit me with the gun note.
Yeah, let me just think about count them all up. But it doesn't matter how much I think. I don't think I can get more than 0.
Yeah, right.
I don't have the fleets, so. But I got a good gunboat though, haven't I?
Oh, you do. Yeah. So, anybody else have anybody have anything else they want to say about Bounty?
Who's actually got
Jack?
the gold nexus?
All right, one at a time.
Yeah, go ahead.
The gold nexus. Who's got them? Any of you guys got any?
My alliance has one.
We got one.
That's what I thought I'd ask, because everybody's mentioning base hitting and everybody's forgetting about the gold nexus.
Yeah, let's talk about the gold nexus.
Oh,
So
Lord, here we go.
So here's the gold nexus in the alpha world, right? All of a sudden, Crow has it. I don't know how many. Bam, we're off. You can't link back. You can't ever link back. It's right there, but we can't link right back to it because there's I think because there's a dead mega underneath or in proximity setting something off, not allowing us to link back up to the gold nexus. Now, that's got to be. I know I am the error finder of the game, but that's got to be an all-time best. I'm not gonna lie. When they boot you on a nexus in the middle of the bounty and you can't link back for a day, that's a winner.
I will definitely say this: if there is an error in this game, it will somehow magically find Ross Crow. He told me about errors and bugs that nobody else has ever been affected by, and he'll tell me about it, and I'll be like, dude, you're full of shit. And then he'll send me a screenshot, and I'll be like, okay, maybe you're not full of shit.
Just before you do leave Bounty, John, I just want to ask Ross a question. You said that you can do it with one King's Writ. What's actually on the weapons of the King's Writ, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, yeah, it's no problem. It's loaded up. It's got 8 of the cannons that came with that originally in the first bounty it was won with.
The Redden Slinger or the cannon itself?
While Ross is looking at that, I know one thing I found in some of the targets when I would attempt to just auto with my King Grit is occasionally it would get too close to the Rets, and when the Rets would blow up, that Ret bomb would actually leave a mark on my King's Grits.
Yeah, we can talk about bounty then too. Hey, so the King's Writ and the Twin Blade still do not auto targets correctly. 3 months. 3 months, they still won't auto the bounty target. They drive right in. Some things they will target, some things they won't. As far as I can tell, if there's a justice involved in the base, the King's Writ and the Twin Blade do not work correctly.
Well, and when we were talking about it last night, we also noticed that it seems to auto fine as long as it's going around the outside of the channel, hitting the bases of the turrets that are on the inside that it can reach. It's when you get about a quarter of the way down the mouth of the channel at the very beginning. You get about a quarter of the way down there, and that's when the auto targeting goes straight to crap.
Correct. No, you're right. There's a certain point where it just goes to crap.
So yeah, it's interesting that it's not throughout the whole target, and it's very interesting too that apparently it's been this way for 3 months and it's not fixed yet.
Yeah.
And the weapon I was using, I'm looking back, it's the Excalibur Gatling gun.
All right.
And ×8. It seems to do really well. And on that one, I'm using the war plating armor.
That's probably why you can auto and not get affected as much by the Ret Death Bomb then, I would bet.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty armored up. I mean, it's got the 3 war plate 3, but it just that whole works pretty well just on itself for these targets,
Nice. I ain't got the wall plating 3 on my build yet because it's not fully skull ranked. I don't put armor until it's skull ranked normally.
No, right.
Right.
Did anybody else have anything for bounty before we move on?
No.
All right, let's talk about TLCs. We got what, 2 of them that are active right now. What is it? March of War and Herculean, I think, are the 2 that are active right now still, if you haven't finished both of them. Let's see. Toxic, what have you thought about Herculean so far? We haven't heard from you for a little bit.
Herculean, I've done the first prize pack, and it went pretty good. I've mainly used my 4 fangs, and I could basically instant repair once I got into base. I got like 15-20 minutes damage, and I could repair it. So I didn't take any damage in the first run through that I couldn't repair straight away. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and that's as far as I got. I might do the second run through for the hull after the show. So
cool. Now I know when it comes to the March to War, whatever it was, I know you were having some issues on that one, correct?
yeah, I've only got a Phantom Fang and 2 normal Fangs, and it's just not enough firepower. I can't kill the ships fast enough, or the subs fast enough before they corner me, especially in the last
They only
2
give
of
an hour.
the prize packs. Yeah. So I was.
Yeah, they don't give you enough time.
Yeah, I was pretty
Unless
close.
you got a full. Unless you got a full fleet of fangs, they do not give you enough time to kill the target because they only give you an hour.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and I'll be honest. Even with a full fleet, unless you have at least some escalation weapons on it, you're still pushing it pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty much they're trying to force you to rush it, take damage, clean repairs.
Yeah, well, my 3rd Fang has just come out of the oven this morning, and I have to try that again to see if I can get that base weapon, because that's really all I want out of that campaign. I don't really care about the Conqueror tokens and whatever else is in there. Or got no idea, but I want that gun on my OP.
When you get to mastery round, that thing is horrible.
What was that, Neil?
Mastery round of that Hellion.
Yeah,
it's just a horrible. You got 7 parts of it, and you, like Caleb said, you only got an hour, and it is tough.
Yeah, it's very. The targets are taxing and grinding and take a lot of concentration, and then the fact that you're constantly have that clock in the back of your head definitely does not help in that whole situation.
Hey Neil, you want about the one that was one of their campaigns in a raid? One of their hundreds in a raid?
Well, I'm not that good at a sub driver. Some people are doing it really well, and others are struggling like myself when I get to the last part. But I end up using a grease monkey and a crew. Usually now I don't know how it's going to be in the mastery round, but that last the other campaign that we just finished, that's how I had to run it with a grease monkey and a crew on my fleet for the repairs, to keep the repairs down.
I know myself what I did in March to War to save some time is the first 2 encounters can actually be done by hunters. So I would rush through them real quick with the hunters to save me time in the overall 1 hour time limit, and then I could, it wouldn't be pressing on me quite as bad. And RB, how the campaign's been going for you, bud?
Okay, I did all the March to War one. I was kind of a little irritated that they extended it because, I made sure that I got it done, and then lo and behold, here's another 5 days or whatever to do it. So, but, it is what it is, and I'm up to Prize Pack 3 of Herculean.
Cool. And
1-star Silent Hunters is the way to go for Fangs, because it gives you the combat speed to help speed it up.
Yeah. G-Daddy, are you doing these TLCs at all?
Well, I've looked into them today, but we've got into a little bit of a fleet sniping war with a group because we decided to snipe the fleet while it was sat at our tower. We're giving them a parking ticket, so we're in the fleet sniping war at the moment. So we don't send fleets out. Even my FM fleet got smashed. Freaking repair.
So your chickens came back to roost.
Gone back to old battle pirate style, yeah. Fleet sniping.
Sheila, I'm guessing, Sheila, you've probably done some of these TLCs. How are they going for you?
I just got my Phantom Fang out a couple of days ago, and it's not ranked and not full built, so I'm waiting until I get all that done to do them.
Gotcha. I know myself, let's see, I've got all my mastery rounds done of the Eviscerator, the March Tour one, except for the very last one. My Fang Tooth I didn't spend the most time on. I was focused mainly on my hunters. And then after the hunters were done and my fangs were mostly done, I was like, oh, screw this. And I started using boat ship cards to work on some PvP stuff. You know, because up until this point, both fleets had never been absolutely mandatory. They were nice, but they weren't mandatory. And then they hit us with this campaign, you know, the March to War, and they're like, oh, you can only do this with your fangs. And I said, well, thanks a lot, guys. You know, so all those people, for all those months and months that you said both fleets weren't essential, they were just beneficial, who believed you, took it straight to pooper for these two campaigns that you currently have going. But you know, with my half-ass fangs, I've been managing to get through it. I think there was twice where towards the very end of the last encounter they would die, and I'd be like, oh, that's crap. And I had to spend a little bit of coin. I'd spend like coin to get like at least 2 of them back up and running, so I could finish the last 2 or 3 boats that were in there. But yeah, so that's been my experience with that. The other one, the Herculean one, I've got the boat, the weapon, and the special so far. I haven't started doing mastery runs, but that's been going pretty good. I've actually been pretty satisfied with that one. So, let's talk a little bit about what do you guys think about the fact that for these 2 TLCs that are currently running. Well, for the one, you have to have fangs, and for the other one, you pretty much have to have both of them. Let's start with Toxic. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't agree with it at all. That first they say it's advantageous to have both fleets to give you, a better experience, and then you need both of them. It's just the same as the luxury charged armors that are totally essential, because without them you can't really do it without coining a lot. So yeah, I don't much enjoy it, to tell you the honest truth. But I've seen in the limited time offers, and I don't know whether you want to talk about that right now or not.
Oh, sure, go ahead. We can throw it in there.
There is some fangs. They're actually selling you some fangs. There's 4 for $100, or you can have 2 for 60, and they're only ranked to 54%, and they got the old weapons on it, and only 1 charged or 2 charged armor, but they're only CTs. There's no X armor on there at all. So anyone who doesn't have any fangs and really wants to do it, I guess I wouldn't buy them, but they're there.
My personal opinion on the TL, or on the time limit offers and things, is if you expect me to spend $100 on a fleet, you better at least damn well have that thing sculled and have the latest and greatest weapons on. That's all I have to say about that. But I mean, there again, the great thing, as we've always said about the time limited offers, is if you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It's not something that anybody has to do. So, it helps them make some money and keep the game going, and people are willing to buy those fleets. Well, good on you.
You never know. You might get a time limited offer with a decent fleet that you can't even launch because it's an illegal build.
All right.
Yeah.
What makes you say that, G Daddy? What on earth makes you say that?
What's that, Toxic?
I said, what on earth makes you say that? An illegal fleet that you can buy?
I've seen it. Yeah. You can't even launch it.
Sheila, what do you think about the fact that we have to have specific fleets to do these campaigns right now?
Hell Dragon, you there?
Her microphone's off at the moment.
All right, we'll come back. RB?
I guess I'm lucky because I've got fangs, but you're screwed if you don't do those 2 fleets. It's just
Yeah, I know you got fangs.
Right,
do you have hunters as well?
I do, actually.
Okay.
But it's taken a lot to do that, and I've had to, it's like everything in this game. You make your choices, and you either succeed or fail, I guess. There's not really much middle ground. So, I might have both fleets, but it certainly costs me other things that I don't have that other people do. So it's just the way it goes.
Neil, what are your thoughts?
Well, I hate the fact that we have to have so many daggone fleets. I mean, it just eats us up and build tokens and time and stuff like that. You can't pursue something that you've been working on maybe for a month to get done because you got to do all this other to keep up. And of course, it's part of how they rope you in and get your money.
I heard that. Sheila, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on having to have both fleets to do the campaigns that we got going on?
Personally, I think I think we should be able to build one fleet to do multiple things instead of having to have 2 fleets to do one thing.
Yeah, I agree.
That's very true. That's very true. Caleb, what about you?
I agree with you guys, to be honest, about having to have 2 fleets. If you're gonna have it, like they said when we had them on our show, that you might need 2 fleets, but making us get the 2 fleets and building them in time for the campaigns and everything. Some people, for example, are still building Fangtooth for the campaigns and everything else.
Yeah,
They don't give enough time to do anything really.
And now that they're still having to finish their fangs or go back and work a little bit more on their fangs for these campaigns, they're going to be screwed on their Buccaneers when it comes raid time.
Exactly. It's a non-stop roll for Kixeye.
Here's my thoughts a little bit. I'm going to start with the March to War campaign because that was the one that bothered me. You could not complete any prize packs in that unless you had the fangs. Number one, we were supposed to have a separation of PvP and PvE. Now you're making me have to use a PvE fleet. Not only have to use a PvE fleet to get PvP tech, but it has to be a very specific PvE fleet to get that PvP tech. I have a big problem with that. That goes totally against your whole wanting to keep the 2 sides of the game separate. There was 2 fleets that were able to do this last raid. Why am I getting penalized because I didn't build the one that you decided was the flavor of the month this time around? We pointed out months and months ago, all of us pointed out that this was going to be a problem when it came to TLCs, as far as having the targets split the way they were. We said, well, how are you going to do TLCs? How are you going to do TLCs? And this is just now dawning on you. How are we going to do TLCs? Obviously, you have no forethought in your business plan whatsoever. And I think I'm just going to let everything else I have to say live right there at that point. I could probably go on for quite some time about this, but I think those statements summed it up pretty well.
Yep.
So I guess last thing we can talk about today is we got some builds that we were looking at for the Hydra Siege Cruiser and for the Buccaneer boats. So
before you change, I'd just like to throw in one thing. You're talking about double fleets, if you don't mind. We got the 120 target. I can't even think what the name of it is.
Oh yeah, the Legion H.
It's horrible. And there again, they're wanting you to use 2 fleets, a skirmish fleet and a siege fleet. And so 2 of us went in and we didn't have the right builds because we lost, he lost his skirmish fleet and I lost most of mine. And then we both lost our siege fleets. So it's another one of Kixeye's tricks to just kind of get your money in. So I don't play that kind of game. I just don't even do them. And then they weren't even paying out.
I was going to say, well, yeah, let me ask, did you hit them at the very beginning? Is that when you hit them?
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know at the very beginning there was a problem, which, you know, that goes back to, hey, maybe you should test it before you put it out. But,
You know.
What's that?
Oh, we were getting some static, but it's gone.
Yeah, sound like you were swallowing your microphone or something there for a minute.
I'm getting ready to cough. I put my hand over mic. Probably
Oh, there you
that.
go.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, I had the similar experience. I hit 4 right off the bat. And I did throw enough fleets through them to kill them, except for they weren't working when I hit them, so I couldn't get the chest. But so I haven't hit them yet.
I know in the 6 years that I've been playing this game, the one thing I've learned is they put out something new that hasn't been tested at all. Don't touch it for the first 3 hours. That's one valuable lesson I've learned out of 6 years playing this game. That's the one.
But see, that's the thing. That's the decision you make. Like, if you haven't started this bounty on the first day, you're way behind because there's no 100 spawning.
Yeah.
Now you had all the 100. Everybody made their points in the first few hours of bounty, right? Now, if you were to hit those 120 HQs or whatever they are, and you hit them right up first, thinking that you might get in early and blah blah blah, well, you've lost because you didn't get paid out or your fleets were broken or whatnot until they fixed it. So you don't know whether to start early and get a head start or wait until they fixed all the bugs. You don't know that until it's almost too late.
Yeah,
I'm hitting the HQs on my own. I'm using 1 fleet of hunters to go in for like 4 hours damage, and then my buccaneers to go in behind it.
well, yeah, you can do that now that they've changed what triggered those. What triggered?
I hit it from the start like it.
What's that?
Start like it.
You couldn't.
Well, how are you doing that? Because at the very beginning, it was that warehouse down at the bottom that triggered the fleet at the top. And it would only ever trigger it that one time. So if you would retreat and come back in with your fleet to kill boats, you couldn't re-trigger that fleet.
No, you gotta run straight up towards them. That's what I did the first couple of hours. I run straight up towards them, they activated, and then they chased me.
That's interesting. Apparently, you're the only person that had that luck.
I threw about 15 fleets at it. I drove my fleets off the screen as close as I could, and 4 different targets, and they didn't move.
Yeah, because my understanding from what I gathered, we were told that it was killing that warehouse triggered those 5 boats that were off the map, but it only would ever trigger them the one time. So if you would retreat and come back in with a different fleet, you were boned. You couldn't get them to come back out. So you would kill everything but those fleets that were off the map, and then you would just sit there, and the target would sit there until it would eventually just despawn and be reaped on its own.
Right. It was the retreat, is what they said. I think that it was the retreat that caused it not to. So, but I guess they've been changed.
Yeah, that's now it's a torque tower up at the top that you destroy that torque tower and that triggers them. So, like when I only did one just to do it, to see what it was, to know what I was talking about. And I went up and I killed the torque tower. God, that torque tower has a lot of freaking health on it. I'll tell you that. It took my hunters like probably a minute and a half to kill that thing. But then once you kill the torque tower, that spawns, that fleet activates, it comes out, you can kill it, and then go around and kill all the fleets, and then retreat and bring your other fleet in and do it that way. But like, I don't know, to me, the time and effort and the amount of damage I took wasn't worth a random charged armor and 10 hours worth of structure build tokens.
You get the 20 hours as well, mind.
I never did. I only got the 10s.
See, that's another thing, those random things. I mean, my money is just as much worth as what Damnation's is. He gets a 20, I get a 10. What's the go? We should all be getting the same prizes for hitting the same targets. And the same with the TLCs where you got those chests. It's just, yeah, it's not right either. But hey, that's just me.
I'm kind of
Tech up campaigns.
I'm kind of 50-50 on that. Like stuff like the dailies and the map targets, I'm not too worried about them being random. But when it comes to the TLCs, yeah, they should not be random at all. TLCs, everybody should get the exact same thing out of TLCs.
Yeah, the last tech up they done was complete mess up completely. Because people were getting 1 hour things, and then other people were getting the stuff they wanted and everything else.
Yeah,
well, I think that was the way it was supposed to be. It was the first one that they stuffed up by letting, you know, by you winning all the prizes all up front. That's to me, the second one was what they intended all along.
Yeah, but we're not playing one-armed bandits where you throw $1 in and then you pull the lever and see what comes out. We all do the same thing, you know. We all get the same prizes.
I tell you what, here's where I'm at on that whole thing. I have enough randomness in this game already, whether their product's going to work or not. I don't need anything.
It's a good point.
But all right, well, we do got a couple ship fills that we want to go over real quick, and I want to make sure we do that before we call it a night. So let's do that. Let me start some sharing. All right, so this was something I just threw together real quick for the Hydra Siege Cruiser. It might look similar to Ross's Boulder Fist build yesterday.
I was waiting for that.
You're never going to hear the end of this, Ross. I'm telling you. But yeah, I just loaded it down, you know, with all the new launchers. I put the new launcher special on there, Speed System 6. I put Siege Battery and Siege Targeting on there. The Flechette Feeder for some extra radioactive damage. I put the interception system on there for some supercharge and extra speed. And I put 2 panels of ballistic charge armor on there. And eventually when we get the radioactive, I'll throw 2 panels of that on there. So I just noticed I don't have a defense special on this whole. I just now noticed that.
No, you don't.
So yeah, at that point I would probably take off interception system and put the defense special there. So then I think we had Caleb, you gave me a build, I do believe.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your build there and some of your choices and why you did them?
Oh, it ain't the engine. That ain't an engine. It's the what's it called?
But
Yeah, tell us about your hack. Tell us about your hack.
Oh man.
I guarantee you what it is. You know how when you're looking at your fleet, your dock, it rotates through the specials sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it probably took that screenshot, but I think that's on the one later down anyway. So, or no, it's this one. Never mind. But yeah, I'm sure it happened, but it's fun.
Well, you can see behind the siege battery there is something as well with something red. So
Yeah, Mike, that's pretty much the same build as yours.
Probably
Just
mine has
I got the-
100 combat speed too.
Looks pretty cool with 2.
Exactly that.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much the same
yeah,
build as you.
I would say our builds are pretty similar, except for you have the defense special one that I
Oh,
forgot.
I got the extra engine too. Don't forget.
What's that?
yeah.
I have the extra engine as well, mind.
Right. Well, yeah, I haven't picked up that program yet, so I can't do that. Yeah, they're pretty similar. So I mean, I guess if both of us came up with pretty much the same build, it must be a pretty decent build.
Just got to figure.
Oh,
make
the
sure
only
you
downfall is
leave room for that CIC.
I tried it in the.
Hang on, Neil. What were you trying to fit in there?
Leave room for the CIC.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
that's plenty of room on there.
we have no idea how much that thing's going to weigh, but I know in my build I had like several thousand tons left. So.
Oh, I don't like the new special because not the special, the weapon, because I tried it in the map target in the HQ, killing the turrets on the island. It took forever to kill.
Really?
Yep, I was sat right underneath it. I got the reload. It was firing non-stop, and
I wonder if that's where the CIC will come into play.
yeah.
hopefully, otherwise I'm scrapping it.
Because at this point in juncture, we have no idea what the CIC does. Like, none whatsoever.
Okay, with that
Oh
in
man, I
mind,
actually messaged. Go on, Ross.
with that in mind, do we know at what point or when the CIC will be offered?
The January raid is when the CIC is supposed to be offered.
I actually messaged my guys in my group asking what the hell is a drone module doing on a siege ship. I thought it was a drone module going to be on a siege ship.
No, yeah,
Right.
but okay, so in theory, you can't really have this fleet ready to do the raid, then, correct? I mean, in your
Correct,
opinion?
Ross. It's yeah.
Well,
It's the reload.
Hang on though. Let me say this. You said you took it in the which target did you take it in? The
Legion headquarters.
Okay, but you only have one ship built, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that might have a lot to do with there only having one boat.
But one Buccaneer does
That's what I like.
Oh, we're breaking up.
Yeah, one Buccaneer kills it instantly.
Well,
Right.
because the Buccaneers can get their blue goo stuff off though, and that might be the difference. Maybe because we have no idea how many charges it takes to get a boom on this thing at this point. So I don't know. I'm just thinking it could be just the fact that you're only using one boat could be the problem. I don't know.
I'll build another one now, and I'll let you know how it does.
All right.
Well, the damage. If you look at the damage, it's only 30,000, so it's not very much compared to to other hulls that we built.
Well, in all honesty,
Exactly.
this is a shockwave. So, the damage mostly comes out of the shockwave, I thought, on this weapon, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so that damage number is.
But
not
it never
really,
went boom. I sat right on top of the target. It did not go boom once.
So I just wonder like how many stacks you have to have before the boom happens, and then once you get to 5 ships, the boom you'll finally start to see the boom, and then
Right.
Hopefully.
the shit will fall real quick. We don't at this point we don't know.
Did it
I
show
just
up
can't wait
build-
for the flag.
Sorry, go ahead.
I can't wait for the flagship for the Buccaneer if they're going to bring one out.
Oh,
They're
I'm
bound
sure,
to bring one out.
I'm sure they'll bring out a flagship for it. They bring out a flagship for everything. Why should the Buccaneer be any different?
It's as certain as the amen in a Catholic church.
Speaking of Buccaneers, I got a couple different builds that I want to go over here real quick.
Ooh.
This build is for the people out there who don't necessarily trust the new man specials and aren't sure how good it is. So what I did is I put 7 of the new peak cannons on there. I put Nuke Accelerator 2 on there because I like the fact that it gives you splash punch, it gives you the speed bonus, and speed will be essential in my opinion in these targets to outrun those missiles that put down the fire on the water. Plus, your speed will help you get into the turrets quicker to kill them. High velocity rounds because that's always good for ballistic stuff. Siege battery. This particular hull, I did remember to put the defense special on, so we're good there. Put on speed system 6, and 2 charged armors for the ballistic ones, and just as placeholders, I put the 2 lightest radioactive charged armors on there. And then with cutting 1 cannon off, I was able to put on autoloader 3, which puts my reload up extremely high, and I like a lot of reload. I like firing nonstop. And so that's one potential build. If you, like me, you don't necessarily trust in the new special yet. And then to go with this one, I also have one that instead of regular siege battery on, I put frontline countermeasures and 1 phalanx 4 because as we've seen in the Legion HQ target, there's that 1 missile that gets shot at you that it's kind of important to shoot that missile down. So I just wanted to have, my 1 phalanx because I've only ever saw myself getting shot at by 1 missile at a time. And that I'm sorry, I got the message and I got sidetracked by it. Thanks, Ruth. Appreciate that. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that 1 phalanx could shoot down that 1 missile because it seems very important. So that's why I went with my 4th build just a little bit different. And then I'll put my 5th one together with the flagship. And then here's the one that if you trust in the new special, You can throw all the cannons on there. Armor is pretty much the same. For some reason, you cannot stack Nuclear Accelerator 2 with the new special. I guess that has something to do with the splash. But, you know, so that's the version I would go with myself.
How come?
What's that?
I was gonna say, how come you got that level 2 R armor and not got the other one?
It's just a placeholder.
Because it's a placeholder. I don't want to put something that's going to take forever on and then have to refit it during halfway through the raid. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So it's just a quick placeholder that'll take less time to take off and put the other on. So, and then of course, you know, I have the one countermeasure ship that'll go with these it's pretty much the exact same. You know, just did the one change out for the countermeasure for frontline countermeasure loaders and did the balance to shoot down that one big honking missile that can do a massive amount of damage if it hits you. And then, Caleb, you sent me this build. You want to go over and talk about your stuff?
Oh, God.
We should start off
as you can see, I got Nuke Accelerator 1. Oh, go on.
We should start off by saying this only has a single engine on it. So it's...
No,
I did notice
boring.
That was before he got the program going.
Right.
Damn you, Mike. Oh, I got Nuke Accelerator on there. The Nuke Accelerator, Engine 6, it should be. The new special. I got their res cap on there. I got the defense, unlike Mike.
Hey, I have it on the Buccaneer. Thank you.
And what's it called? I've got no radioactive armor on there right now, as you can see.
Gotcha. Well, hey, you don't even have R2 on there, so why are you giving me shit?
Because I was going to put the other one on there, the 5.
So what made you decide to put resonance capacitor on it as opposed to siege battery?
I don't know. I was reading through, and my guy said put res capacitor on there, so I put it on there.
Does a Buccaneer does have an aura, correct? I mean, will there be something,
yes.
Will there be something that is triggering that res capacitor? I guess is a big question. Let's let me go look at it.
Don't accept me now.
I was going to say, I don't think it does.
I want to make sure we're giving people good info, and I don't want to be like, well, yeah, here, we recommend to put res capacitor on. Oh my God, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
yep, just like you're without any defense.
What's that?
Just like you're without any defense.
Well, you know, hey, at least I caught it, corrected it. It could be worse. We could have both pulled a Ross, so it could have been way worse.
Yeah, it could have been.
That's the golden ear.
All right, so looking on the Buccaneer, special abilities. It does have a duplicate aura cap 5, so I would assume that aura would trigger resonance capacity. It doesn't say, and see, they've really gotten away. Remember when they used to put on resonance trigger yes, resonance trigger no? Remember when that used to happen?
Yeah.
Anybody else missed that? So you would know for sure nowadays whether it does or whether it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I would assume that aura will trigger resonance. I would assume. So yeah, you should be good with that.
No.
Yay. I did something right.
Shane agrees with me.
Well, okay. Now, what are you saying? What are you saying, RB?
So Shane agrees with me. There's nothing to trigger it.
So you don't think that duplicate aura cap 5 thing will trigger it? The one that gives them all pumped up defenses?
No. I don't either. I don't think it will. But
why wouldn't it, is my question.
Because the aura cap is for the ships, so it's only talking about stacking, one ship after another, after another, after another. So my understanding was it's either got to say yes or it says nothing. If it says yes, res cap away. But if it doesn't, it won't work.
No, that's not actually, because there's been several holes that have come out that are affected by resonance that are resonance trigger yes or that haven't set it on the hull. They've gotten away from putting yes or no on the hull.
Yeah, but you need to. You know more than me, but I don't think it's going to work.
I see Shane is saying ours do not trigger resonance, but that's not true, because look at gluttonies. Gluttonies, you can put resonance capacitor on there, and it does, and those auras do trigger the resonance capacitor. So I don't know. I guess it's a big question at this point in time.
But wasn't there the thing with the phantom glut that everybody put it on thinking it was going to work and it didn't?
I don't remember anybody talking about putting resonance capacitor on the phantom glut.
Correct. It didn't.
I remember. I think it was rages back in the day where they were getting different effects.
Oh, yep, you're right. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it was the Rainer's Rage. Yep, you're right. You're right.
And you get two different speeds out of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Take it out and find out. Take out one. There you go. Do a refit real quick there, Caleb. And put seed battery on one, resonance capacitor on the other one, and drive them and see if one goes faster. Crickets.
Yeah, that's probably the only actual visual way to test. I mean, be totally accurate, right?
That now?
Well, it would increase the damage as well, though.
Yeah, it'll increase the damage a great deal if it works. Yeah, what, 30%, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah, but the only reliable way to test it, though, is in a cargo where it goes faster than one without.
Give me a few minutes.
Okay, well, I was just kidding, but hey, if you want to, rock on.
I have to refit them if they don't work.
Let me know when you're good. Let me know when you're up and ready to run it, and you can screen share, and we can all find out the results of the test together live on air.
Is it possible just to flick back to those Hydra builds for a sec, please?
Oh, now I got to go back to screen sharing. You couldn't have said that before. Oh, good.
What did
I'm
Hydra
trying to
build
compare it with mine.
Which one do you want? The one that doesn't have the defense special, or the one that does? you want the one that doesn't have a defense special, or do you want the one that has both? Which one do you want?
No, given the one with the two engines.
Two engines, right?
All right, we'll go with the two.
Excellent. So what's you won't be able to scroll on that one. So I was kind of curious as to what we think the needed combat speed's going to be for this, or is it just all out speed to try and outrun everything?
Oh, it's going to be 103 with the two engines.
Woo.
Yeah, right.
With just the one engine, I think Caleb's bill is 93.
Okay.
I will say, in hitting the Legion and HQ targets, I found that just beat System 6 on it was sufficient enough to outrun the fire that was put down on the water behind you from the multi-shot missile, whatever it was.
Yeah, because I was figuring more building damage would be better than just outright speed, especially when you start stacking a few of them.
Well, it's weird though, because a lot yes and no, because sometimes the sooner you get to the target means the less time you spend getting shot at. So So there's probably 6 one, half a dozen the other.
Yeah, it's a good point.
A minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll refresh the whole internet thing.
Oh, so you're gonna be a minute yet there, Caleb?
You can still talk.
Well, thank you very much.
I see a few people ain't happy Ross turned his cam off. They were all watching what he was doing.
Well, they just wanted to look at his beautiful face, because if you listen to him, he's missing time out. Well, while Caleb's getting situated, anybody else have anything they want to talk about that we didn't cover tonight?
I might say that I added a message on Kickside to where I would like to see him get back to the work in progress announcements that they would put out. Those were always very informative to us, so we could kind of plan on what was going on. Nowadays, they just kind of throw all this crap at us and go, here it is, there, suck it up.
Yeah. I mean, communication has been horrible. It's been absolutely horrible. You know, I had been very optimistic after Doom Rooster left and Rampage came on. I had been very optimistic and hopeful that communication was going to get a lot better. As much as it pains me to say, I think it's going the opposite direction. I think communication is actually worse now than what it was before.
I would say
that's a bit harsh.
No, in all actuality, we played, most of us all played since the Blackwater days, and 2017 was by far the worst BP performance year to date. I mean, for sure, it's by far the most players leaving the game
to quit.
And so I'm hoping that 2018, maybe the business plan changes, and it could be a great year. I mean, it really could. It's a great game. So I'm just gonna. That's what I'm going into the new year. I'm hoping that we have a new bright outlook on the game, and maybe some of these things work out. Hopefully.
I'm kind of with you there, Ross, because 2018 hasn't even started yet. So, as stupid as I feel, I am trying to be hopeful and see if they did learn some lessons, and they've got to at least have a chance to stuff things up even more, I guess.
So far, the big problem is too, we've already got 4 new hulls, and it's not even 2018 yet.
Yeah.
They just like dropped the amount of new hulls on us like a freaking bucket this month. I tell you.
Was it 57 this year they brought out? I heard, or something like that, or read.
Probably at least. I wonder if that number includes all the individual flagships.
No, I'm not 100%, but is the Boulder Fist a tier 7?
I can't remember. Log into the game and tell us.
I think it is, because I think it's the first one.
6.5. So the only tier 7 hull is the Hydra that we've got so far. So all the others are really, I mean, the step up from 6 to 6.5 was quite big. So from 6.5 to 7, if it's the same, then all these 6.5 hulls that we're all building now, they may not be all that good. But we don't know until it all happens, I guess.
How you coming there, Caleb?
Nearly there. I'm just making sure I put the right ship in the right place. So you want it in the same fleet, right? Or separate fleets?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You want to have it in the same fleet because that's the only way you'll be able to tell if there's a difference in the speed or not.
Remove that one, click that one.
And that's why we like Wales, boys and girls, because they can test this stuff for us and we don't have to test it later.
It's true.
Well, hell, it's helping everybody else out. It might help me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I stop screen sharing now, RB? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
You can screen share.
Appreciate it.
You can keep screen sharing.
Well, I gotta make sure I'm ready to put you on present when you start screen sharing.
Stupid.
No, I appreciate you flicking back to it. Thanks.
Not there.
Oh, that's not a problem, man. Anybody else have anything?
What the hell popped up now?
Hey, I know we could talk real quick. Did you guys get the Blitz feature in the last campaign?
I blitzed it too.
Yeah, I did see that pop up.
And I don't understand it, man. I hit that sucker in one hit, and I'm kind of a little bit irritated it wouldn't let me blitz.
Right. Well, you know what irritates me is all these chests I supposedly won after I hit all these targets out and about. Nah, I never see them show up in my.
Oh, I got pop-ups. 15 minutes later, you won a chest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, from hitting the salvage? What a deal! That's awesome.
That's like the last time I did anything to win a chest was like 3
thing.
Yeah, well, I did write them and let them know that I really did like the Blitz feature added to the campaign. I was upset that mine wasn't working. However, but I really do like that they added that, and I hope they fix it. And
Did
so
you really send a ticket in?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it actually being fixed. I don't know why mine was broke and it wouldn't let me blitz, but I don't know.
Was it 1 coin or 5?
Hang on a minute. Shane, are you still over there in chat? Do you want the link to get on here?
Oh, no, don't let him on here.
He's probably naked.
Well, I was going to let him on. I was going to send him the link earlier, but I figured he was still sleeping because I didn't see his green light on.
I've got a subject for you, John. I've heard that a few people have told me that they've set a repair going and it's been like 30 minutes left to do. They've gone out to the map to go back to base to save it like they're supposedly supposed to do. Then they've gone out to the map, done a few targets, games, SOS, they've gone back and there's still 30 minutes repair on their fleet when they've gone back to it a few hours later when it's supposed to have been finished.
In the similar situations I've had lately is you get done with the fleet and you got to put it on repair and the lag is so bad that you think you've hit it repair and we're back to that thing that they did a couple of years back when they said be sure and go in and out of your base once you hit repair for an overnight fleet. So and the next day I get up and my fleet's not repaired. Didn't take. So
yeah, I'm glad that's not just me that's been happening too. I've had several instances where I know damn well I hit repair before I went to bed, but I didn't do the in out and hit your res gens. And, well, I don't have any res gens, so I can't bank them anymore. But I didn't go through all those voodoo rituals and standing on my head while waving the chicken feather and all that shit. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd be like, son of a bitch, my shit's not prepared. So I'm glad I'm not the only person that's happened to.
Speaking of that too, Mike, you got any updates on the expeditions? Or I'm still not doing them. I refuse to do them.
There again, they're well aware that the payouts don't make any sense. We've made them abundantly clear about that. But at the same point in time, we're in that holiday, 2-week span where I'm sure probably 80% of the people aren't in the office. So we're probably not going to see much movement on anything until after the first year, I would imagine.
So you guys ready?
And yeah, just start screen sharing and I'll put you on your time.
Well, just before you move off at expeditions, I've heard as well of a few friends that they've attacked a base, and because the person was doing an expedition at the time, it's become a base guard, and they've had to kill that base fleet as a base guard first.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they fixed that. Since we're on chests before too, it'd be really good if they could just reorder the chests to the most recently one first instead of having to scroll through 25 chests.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right, here we go, boys and girls. Here we're about to get an answer to our question.
Woohoo! Popcorn ready. The silence.
Got their siege.
Well, probably the easiest way.
Stop them.
Like stack them together, and then you'll be able to tell easily if one runs out ahead of the others. Just put them like directly on top of one another.
No trigger.
No trigger.
Nice blast, but no trigger.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend taking the resonance capacitor off all that crap.
Yep. See, I told you it was a good job. I refitted.
Yeah, so that was a very good job, and that helped everybody, yourself most of all. All right. Well, Shane, you're kind of late to the party. Do you have anything you wanted to talk about?
Not
Hey,
really.
you finally woke up, you mean?
Oh yeah, I've been up since the show started, but yeah.
I never saw you.
I'm a negative Nancy right now, so I don't know what all I got to.
Oh, well, that's okay. No quarter is with negative Nancy's allowed with no quarter. That's why it's called no quarter.
Is it? That's why Ross is here all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for the my good looks.
That's right.
So back to what Caleb said. Why are you here all the time? All right. So anybody else have anything they want to cover, or do we want to call it night?
I'm okay. Mate.
Well, we got to hear something from Shane. I mean, he got on. He's got something to say probably. So.
Oh no, the only thing I got to say is fuck the FM. That shit's fucking stupid. I mean, everybody figures if that's their decision going forward, yeah, they're going the wrong fucking way. And I mean, just a lot of shit going on that I don't know. I'm kind of regretting I'm staying now. Hello, Love Angel.
You don't mean that, Shane.
Yeah, I know I don't truly mean that, but it is upsetting that I'm still here dealing with this ignorant shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will be very honest. If after the first of the year, after they're back in the office, if within a couple days we don't see a change in the way the icebreakers are behaving in the FM target, you very may well see the next live show for the Crow's Nest me scrapping my base, telling them exactly where they can shove their game. That's a very good possibility that could happen.
That's a first, that one. Never seen that one yet on a live show, scrapping of a base.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it live on a base. I've seen them do it in a stream after a show, but I've never seen them do it live on air.
I want to see that.
That's probably what it would
make
take.
sure I'm here for the next show.
Make sure you send me an invite, Dan, when you do it.
The viewer, hey, the watchers would be higher than looking at my good looks.
Right? Oh, so I would have two watchers then.
Well, you might have more because I'll stream it for you as well.
Most of us play the game for the camaraderie. I mean, the game is the game, and it makes it so much fun. We got so many different people to play and different types of people to enjoy. But it's getting to where we're losing so many good players, and it's hard to replace that kind of talent or even that kind of camaraderie that they've produced over the years.
Well, and quite honestly, like, I can't speak for the rest of you, but the people that I hang out with and I enjoy playing the game with, if I don't play the game with them, I'll still talk to them because we've become such good friends. We don't need the game in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be it'd be a little different because let's just all, I'm not saying that everybody needs to stop playing a game. I want to say that. But I know that everyone's thought about this lately, especially. And I myself I'm not going to scrap my base or anything, but I'm having a support issue myself. So I'm going to continue. I'm just not going to coin. If I don't have support, I'm not coining. It's that simple, but I work that way in everyday life too. If I don't pay for things, I don't have support for. So that's it with me. I'm looking forward to actually good. We don't know what to come, and hopefully Kixeye makes something fun right off the bat. In the beginning of the new year, that would really change the whole outlook on the game, and I hope that happens.
Okay, I'll refit it again.
You just coined the whole fleet. Did you coin the whole fleet?
He refit that one with it.
Oh my god.
Dirty rotten corner.
No, I had 4 anyhow.
Definition Definition right there. More money than sense. Definition right there.
Well, at least he did it to help all of us out on the live feed. I mean,
Do that.
That's
No.
right.
that was awesome.
That's right.
Good job,
Right.
man.
Yeah, that's true.
And you
I mean-
didn't go ahead building more like that.
Oh, do you know what? I got it. I didn't get hit.
Did you put
Come
a
on, Neil.
second?
Come on down.
Did you put a second engine on all the rest of your boats while you were in there?
Oh yes, 100%.
Caleb, you're not worth anything. I'm not coming down.
All right, guys. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up, so I'm going to call it a night. Thanks, everybody, for coming on the show. Definitely appreciate all the different insights and viewpoints. Thank all the people in chat who were participating along. And hopefully you had a good time, and you'll come back for our next No Quarter and tell your friends about it. And if you found any useful information or if you had a good laugh and had some good fun, give us a thumbs up. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I'll see you all in the next couple of months.
Happy New Year, everyone. See you all later.
Yeah.
Later.
Okay,
Happy
I'm
New
going
Year.
back to